This music video, I'm skipping a little forward because there's a lot of exposition that is unnecessary. Part of the music video was shot in, I believe, Venezuela, and then the other part, the part with the artist, was actually shot here in New York. You can clearly tell which parts were shot in New York because not only do they have the artist, they have the New York skyline. Let's go ahead and start. I find it funny. Yeah, let me go back. Come on. Where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. All right, guys. This is the one thing that I can never get away from is. So this is the cool shot. This is obviously New York. This one right here kills me the whole time. This right here, his tattoo looks like somebody literally just drew a number on his face. It's blatantly not a real tattoo, and it pisses me off every time I watch this music video. How does nobody ever notice this? I'm telling you, you have a music video, you gotta scrutinize every inch of the frame, and it's so silly, man. Every time I watch it, I'm like, how do you have a high-profile artist with a high-budget music video, and this is the makeup you guys are going with? This is a tattoo you're going with? Ridiculous.
This is a golden king.
I think the concept of the music video is about like wanting to be with somebody that you can't be next to. I think, which is why this guy's in prison and he's looking at the wife. The same thing, you're gonna see a parallel to someone who's supposed to be a young Romeo Santos chasing a girl. The scenes with the actual Romeo Santos and Osuna we shot in New York. This scene specifically where we're like in a rooftop, right? The Romeo Santos and his bodyguard. First thing that everybody's told when you're on set is don't take pictures of Romeo Santos. I mean, a lot of the time you're told this, right? And that's fine. Like it makes sense. But you sometimes you like sneak in a little video of the camera that shows the artist a little bit and you're fine. I've done that many times. I've worked in many sets where that is a normal and that is okay.
Hi, I'm Bleed Blue. Welcome to my channel. If I keep popping up on your recommendeds, or if you're just new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe as it helps the channel grow. Thank you.
But every time I work with Romeo Santos, I cannot bring my phone out. His bodyguard grabs my phone. He will also grab your phone. He'll tell you to unlock it. Go find the photo. It doesn't matter if you have, you know, NSFW pictures in your album. He's going to find that photo that you just took and manually erase it from your phone. You are not allowed to show it. You're not allowed to upload it. I have no BTS photos of this video because of that. I think Romeo Santos is a little self-conscious for someone who is a celebrity, and he just doesn't want a bad angle. I mean, the dude's like a millionaire. There is no bad angles for him. He spends thousands of dollars on his face. Really, bud? That was my rant. I believe these lenses, they're the lenses that were recently used in the Dune 2 movie. I think they're the iron glass. Yes, they're the iron glass lenses. They're old rehoused Soviet Russian lenses. What rehousing means is they take like an old school lens. If you ever look at 35mm camera lenses, they're like very little and compact lenses, and they clean the glass, they reuse the glass. One thing that people have to realize about expensive lenses and why they're so expensive, lenses are like wine. They age like wine. The older they are, the more of a characteristic they have, and they will give you something unique. When you rehouse a lens, you grab the glass that they have and you put it in a bigger housing that will be suited for cinema use. So this is an old school Minolta lens. I think this is from the 70s or the 80s. The lenses that we used on this shoot were very similar in age to this. And a rehousing lens means that they unscrew the lens inside, right? And they take out the glass elements that basically what makes the lens itself, right? And they put it in a bigger housing that suits cinema use. By cinema use, I'm talking about this. This is a cinema lens. This is specifically a 50 to 100 millimeter T2. Cinema lenses are big. There is a purpose to them, but the main reason why people rehouse cinema lens or like old school Soviet lenses is to give them these like little notches right here. You see these notches right here on the lens? So this is your f-stop ring. The ring just open up and close down will let up the amount of light inside the lens. The next ring up is focal length. So if you want to zoom in from a 50 to a 100, it's basically a zoom. These little notches utilize gears, mechanical gears that once you go past a certain threshold of lenses, you want to use a wireless follow focus, because having too much like an operator will be operating, right, and will have the camera on their shoulder. Back in the day, before we had wireless shit, there would be a first assistant camera who will focus, and he will have his hand touching the rig. This would create another friction point for the operator if he's like moving left and right, because the AC would have to move his hand in a way where it won't disturb the operator. And then the next ring is the focus. The focus on cinema lenses are long. You have to do more than a 180-degree turn to be able to focus to the limit, and that is intentional. We with the current lens that I'm using, that you guys are watching, for me to be able to zoom from really close up, like from here to right here, it takes less than a quarter of a turn. With cinema glass, to be able to have those smooth lens transitions where like you're focusing from the foreground to the background, you have to have a longer rotation. And yes, cinema glass is a lot more expensive. It's a lot heavier because it's meant for heavy duty use. I'm not saying I'm gonna chuck this lens like a football, but they are a lot more rugged. They can take a lot more beating, and they have a lot more information than this little bad boy. You could still pop this little bad boy on a $75,000 camera and get really cool results. But then first assistant camera will hate you because one, they don't have the focus rings, the focus notches, and two, it will make it a lot more hands-on. Their job will be a lot more hands-on, and will if you're trying to operate, they're gonna not want to be touching your rig. And that is what a rehouse lens. Back to the video. These lenses, the lenses that we're using were old school Soviet lenses. What they did is they rehoused them, and this is why you get these the character in these lenses. If you look at like the lens flare, the kind of lens flare that you're getting from these lenses, this orange right here, when the sun is directly beaming in the center of the frame, that is a characteristic that not many lenses have. And sometimes you want that. You want the imperfection. The lenses that I'm working with currently are very clinical. Clinical means that it's too clean. You see everything, and sometimes you don't want to see everything. A lot of what a DP does is realizing what filtration in front of the lens is able to handle and make the human skin better, handle the lighting better than previous lenses. Photo cameras specifically, photo lenses specifically are like they utilize autofocus. The autofocus is not going to rotate the ring super fast. So they make it so that the ring only has to rotate like inches to be able to find your depth focus. And then also these lenses have a limit to them. Like you see a hard stop on the focus ring on every ring. The Canon L series lenses will just continue rotating even though you are already at the end. And this is a feature. This is so that you know, if you're capturing, you know, sports photography, you want to be able to just focus really quick. And you know, if you know that you're like in a stadium and the player that you're trying to shoot is more than like 30 feet from you, you already know where your focus is going to be. It's going to be in infinity. And yeah, that is the difference between a photo lens and a cinema lens. But yes, rehousing lenses has been a common thing where you get the glass, put it in a new shell, and you still have the same characteristics that you had because you're utilizing the same glass. Glass ages like wine, and that's why most of the times you see lenses like the lenses that shot The Godfather. Those lenses are still around. Like I'm not saying like it's labeled this lens was shot The Godfather, but the movie itself, those lenses, I've worked with those specific lenses before because they have really good characteristics. The older they are and the more well kept they are, the more characteristic, the more smooth the light will be accepted into the sensor of the camera. I'm assuming that the director of photography specifically wanted these lenses because of the lens flare that you get from him.
Relaciones que fracasan mayormente es por desengaño, falsedad que contamina y hace daño. Tú fuiste perfecto clavel que con mis manos marchité. Mi obra se llama Romeo sin Julieta otra vez. Puedes pensar, soy el rey de las mentiras, volvería a fallar, aunque lo jure por mi vida. Mis palabras no importan ni valen ni de rodilla nada. Dice que ha visto muchas novelas y la
So this shot right here, this is a wild shot because yes, we're on top of a building, right? And usually these platforms right here are for water. This is a water tower. We had to get a ladder to be able to get Romeo Santos and Ozuna up there, right? Obviously, these are high profile artists, and then the stunt coordinator or the AD is, I don't remember who it was. I was in the key grip on this, thankfully. Was like, hey, we need to secure them. And then the only way to secure, you know, someone from falling is you have to have a harness on them. They had harnesses on them. The climate was cold enough for them to be wearing these coats, but these coats are hiding harnesses. If you look at this little rope thing right here, I don't know if you notice, there is rope. Well, not rope, what looks like rope, but it's really a harness tie to the water tower itself. I'm not saying these guys were going to jump off, but accidents do happen, and you don't want to be responsible for an artist falling, specifically Romeo Santos. Imagine that. You don't want that on your title at all. The water tower was a wild shot. And then this specifically was a drone shot. All of the crew had to like hide in this building right here. We were all inside this building. Yes, Tulsi's right. Safety first. Safety is the number one actor in movies. Like, everybody always wants to be safe. We are always working with highly volatile components. Not only, I mean, it could be like a prop gun, which, you know, God forbid you end up getting shot, like in Rust, or, you know, chemicals, or we are working on a water tower, or at least in my case, we are rigging lights, very heavy lights that go above people's heads. And that in itself is, you can, if you hire the wrong person who is inexperienced, that can fall and will kill someone. You're talking about, you're putting, you know, more than 300 pounds up on a grid on a couple pipes. If you don't know how to secure that properly, and it's not even securing it properly, it is also getting, you know, there's always plan B. Whenever you rig something on a grid, there is safety chains. Safety chains are just literally what it is. What it is chains that will, if your rig goes to shit and it falls, the safety chain will hold on to, whether it be a light, whether it be a speaker, whether it be a a projector, if that is rigged up top. If something were to go wrong and it falls, the last safety net will be just a chain holding the thing so it doesn't smash to the ground. Hire a good key grip if you're going to be rigging these things. I've seen a light get blown over in the wind. Yeah. Also, especially when you're outside, if you're inexperienced, a lot of the times we work with 8x8 frames. A frame is just a big canvas. Think of it like that. A big canvas, 8 foot by 8 foot, 12 foot by 12 foot, just a square. And this is basically a giant sail. If you're in a rooftop like this, you definitely want to be able to bag it down. And also a good experienced key grip not only determines, hey, this is the safest way of doing things. He can always be like, hey, this is not safe. We're taking this down, and that's it. You either live with whatever consequences, which is how it affects the frame, because I'm telling you, you have a sail. You basically have a kite on a 10th floor building where there is a lot of high winds that can easily go wrong. Maybe you won't hurt the people on your set, but if it falls down to the ground, you're going to hurt people on the ground. Hire a good key grip. Safety is always a big concept on set. I would like to show you guys what a 12x12 frame is. Just 1 second. Let's look it up. I recently saw, or today I saw this video by AMP, their cipher, right? And in their cipher, they shot it here in New York. We're not here for the cipher itself. I just seen that they had what I just spoke about. They have a 12x12 frame on a rooftop. All right, let's skip this. This is honestly, while I was watching this, I was like, yo, do I know anybody in the crew? This right here, this is a 12x12, maybe an 8x8 frame right here, right? I don't know if you can see it right, but it's just a big sail basically. Right here we have maybe 18K, and maybe this is a 1.2 or 1.8. I can't tell based on the distance because these two lights do look the same, but the wattage outputs on them is different. And also, if you haven't known, this is all pre-recorded. If you watched this and thought that this was a real live freestyle, nah. But yeah, this is a 12x12 frame. And as you can see, they have the proper amount of sandbags on every stand, so that way nothing falls off the building. Safety first. So this right here, we actually shot in the downtown Manhattan court. This is the real court in Manhattan. I'd never been here before. People get divorced, people get married, people get sued here. And it was a very cool experience. This specific area, it's like the foyer of the building. Then you go up some stairs. I specifically for this shot, I was hiding right around here, behind this wall, while the camera was a steady cam. It was spinning around both of them.
Hacer otro disco con aventura y te lo dedico entero.
Si todavía me amas como antes, ya nada me parece interesante.
So, if you haven't noticed, the guy speaking on the microphone is supposed to be young Romeo Santos, and he is on the PA system in the school, professing his love to this blonde girl.
Yo sé que en el amor soy un farsante. Yo sin ti no vuelvo a enamorarme, bebé.
Si todavía me amas como antes, ya nada me parece interesante. Yo sé que en el amor soy un farsante. Yo sin ti no vuelvo a enamorarme, bebé.
Y yo no me vuelvo a enamorar. No sé ni qué pensar. Ya sé por qué todo me sale mal. Mentí diciéndote que era leal.
So these shots right here, they're on the rooftop level of the building, right? For it, we had to have a bounce board close to them because we're just basically, this is natural light. That's whatever the sun is giving you. We're bouncing the light from the sun back to their faces, which is why you don't get like this like highlight on their face. It looks like very muted. And yeah, this was me. I was literally like 4 feet, maybe less than 4 feet away from them, just operating this bounce board left and right, trying to get them to you know, be lit and look exposed properly.
Siendo un amor real, le pido a Dios me pueda perdonar. No, quiero que te vayas, vamos a intentarlo porque nos salvamos nuestra relación. Tú sabes, bebé.
It's hilarious because when we were in the courtroom, we were expecting it to be, you know, just like a regular courthouse, you know, hearing where you see we have people of all kinds, you know, they were probably gonna get like background talent and, you know, anybody. But as we were setting up, you just see models just come in one by one. Hey, I'm here for the shoot, blah blah blah. And everybody in this courtroom was a female. The only 2 males in the courtroom, which is funny if you look at them, it's only Ozuna and Romeo Santos.
Perdona, bebé.
Hey, bebé. Si todavía me amas como antes, ya nada me parece interesante. Yo sé que en el amor soy un farsante. Yo sin ti no vuelvo a enamorarme, bebé.
Si todavía me amas como antes, ya nada me parece interesante. Yo sé que en el amor soy un farsante. Yo sin ti no vuelvo a enamorarme, bebé. Duerme en la cama de ese que dejas cuando entras y sales. ¿Dónde quedaron los besos y todos los planes? No sé si vivir o morir. Me encuentro en un limbo desde que te fuiste de aquí. Eres la única persona que yo quiero que se ven encima de mí. Mi libertad no la quiero, tampoco la vida de soltero. Yo lo que quiero es que quieran lo mismo que todos queremos. Tener una cuenta de banco con dígitos y muchos ceros. Hacerle el amor a diario y de paso gastar el dinero.
Si todavía me amas como antes.
The name of this song is called El Farsante, which means the faker, or like, you know, someone who lies.
Ya nada me parece interesante. Yo sé que en el amor soy un farsante. Yo sin ti no vuelvo a enamorarme, bebé.
The chorus of the song is basically, I know without you I'm just a faker. I won't be able to fall in love without you, my babe. I won't be able to fall in love with someone else if it's not you, basically. And I'm telling you, Romeo Santos makes songs that make your panties wet.